Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Gwent, and today we're going to be playing the new Trial of the Grasses seasonal event, which is an alternate game mode in which whenever a unit enters the board, it gets damaged by 2 and then gets boosted by 4. But if it's a Witcher, it only gets boosted by 4 and doesn't get damaged. That means that in this event, Witchers are the best. With that in mind, we've got a nice Witcher deck to check out, so let's give it a look. So today we're going to be playing a Skellige Witchers deck using the Patricidal Fury Leader ability. And the strength of this deck is that we can spawn in a bunch of new Witchers very quickly using cards like the Bear Witcher Quartermaster, along with Armor Up. We can even use Yrden of Ulivo to spawn in those units even more quickly. Then once we have a bunch of Witchers on the board, Leo is our big point slam to finish off a round. So now I'll flip to the deck to show you what else we have. And Arnaghad is a strong card when combined with a card we're going to look at in just a second. Vesemir Mentor can of course boost almost every card in our deck. Geralt Quen is one of our best tutor cards in this seasonal event because he's actually worth a lot by himself because he gets that boost from Trial of the Grasses. Sukrus is the card that goes along with Arnaghad so that he doesn't take any damage even when he uses his ability to damage opposing units. Then the Skellige location can also spawn in more Bear Witcher Quartermasters to create even more Witcher students, maximizing total amount of Witchers. Idarran to spawn in those Witcher students more quickly. Black Blood, because just about every card that our opponent plays is going to get boosted, is an easy form of removal. Leo is the finisher. Then the Wolf School Witchers, Eskel, Vesemir, and Lambert are also a good late round play. Selective Mutation is another tutor that we can use on a lot of our cards. Berengar is worth a lot of points, and because we have so many Witchers out there, pretty safe to play him without him getting destroyed. Artefact Compression to lock and reset our opponent. Bear Witcher Quartermaster, like I said, arguably the best card in this deck. Rose Eye just to purify in case anyone gets locked, namely the Quartermasters. Red Haze in case our opponent has any big units right next to each other, and there are going to be some big units in this event, so that should be a pretty safe bet. Armor Up, also competing for best card in this deck, because that's damage in addition to a bunch of Witcher students, which are worth a surprising number of points in this event. Then the Adepts are a good target for the Quartermasters to damage, because they're going to start building up that armor very quickly. And then Axe-wielder is a card that we probably don't ever want to end up playing, but then again, even if we do, it is also worth a surprising number of points. So there's a look at the deck, and overall, it's very simple. Basically, just play Witchers and profit. So let's go see how it plays. Okay, so going in Skellige here. And they'll go first. Okay, let's dump the Axe-wielder. Get Arnaghad. We'd love to have Sukrus along with him, though at the moment we don't. So maybe we swap out the Adept. And we get another Adept, okay. Okay, they'll start off with their Defender. And I think we actually may want to begin with this Adept, because that'll give us an early unit with armor, which can be a target for the Quartermaster that we bring in with our location. So let's do that. Okay, there is Sukrus. I think we know what combo they're going for then. I think the likelihood of an Arnaghad appearance has gone up dramatically. So I think that means we probably want to keep this round 1 as short as possible to minimize the effectiveness of that Arnaghad. So let's go Armor Up next. That'll give us some more potential targets for our Quartermaster we bring in with our location. Okay, and they'll use their round of Armor Up. So now let's go location. Get a Quartermaster. And with that Quartermaster, I suppose maybe hit the Adept. Okay, Axe-wielder is not one of their better cards. And just to clarify, because I know someone's probably going to be asking, Red Haze on the Defender cannot target Sukrus, because we can't target anyone other than that Defender, so this does not work. And that means we don't have any counter for Arnaghad plus Sukrus, other than to just have a lot of points up on the board before they actually play him. Speaking of which, I think that means Berengar is probably a good play here. Okay, there's their Berengar. And so the next card they play is going to be Arnaghad, because his ability kicks in at Adrenaline 4. So that likely means that whatever card we play here is going to be the last card that we can play without getting a card destroyed. In which case, we don't have too many great options here. I think maybe we just start setting things up for a future round with Selective Mutation. Use this to get Geralt Quen. And let's dump you. I think we even use our leader ability here. Try to sneak that in before they get to play Arnaghad. That way, we're hoping that what we're doing is we are forcing them to play not only Arnaghad, but actually go an additional card down if they want to win round 1. Because here he is. So that's big, but it's not enough for them to pass us yet. They should use their tactic. They do. But even that's not enough. So now they might be considering using their leader ability. But they don't, and that means what we do here is they've already played one more card than us, and they have not passed us. So we pass here, and we either force them to give us round 1 with 1 card advantage, or they play another card, win round 1, but have to go 2 cards down, so we'll still have last say in round 3. They do play another card. It's a Bear Witcher. And just about anything would have been enough. The thing is, they went 2 cards down in the process. And so that means we have sizable card advantage here, and I'm expecting them to dry pass in round 2, so something like a Terror Crew Axe-wielder actually could be quite helpful in this situation. That could be our throwaway card. Then let's dump Crow's Eye. Armor up is not bad, and I think we probably do stick with this. Assuming we do need a throwaway card, then the Axe-wielder is fine. They do play here. Wow. Okay, Geralt Quen. What are they going to get with him? A Quartermaster. Yeah, that's one of their better cards, so they're going for it. That's a bold strategy. In that case, that means the Axe-wielder is definitely the worst card in our hand and a card that we'd like to not have to play so that we can mulligan it into something else in round 3. So in that case, let's use Armor Up here. Then they'll use Armor Up. And unfortunately, we still don't have Sukrus to go along with Arnaghad, so that's a little bit of a problem, because that means this is one card that doesn't have nearly as much value as we would like it to have. But then the other issue is we have a bunch of cards with Adrenaline, and those cards are not yet kicking in here, so I think we may have more or less no choice but to play our Defender here. We definitely want to save Geralt Quen as a tutor for Geralt Yrden. Another Quartermaster. And what we really need here is just one more card to play, because once we've done that, then on our next turn, Lambert's Adrenaline 4, Vesemir's Adrenaline 4, even Arnaghad's Adrenaline 4 are going to start to kick in. We could play a preemptive Arnaghad, but I think we'd also like to save you for round 3, just in case we can get Sukrus. So I don't love it, but because it's one of our only non-Adrenaline cards, I think we do play the Axe-wielder here. And take your pick. And it is still an 11-point play, but okay, here's Vesemir Mentor. So they're going to get all those Witchers a little bit bigger. Means all the more reason why we're definitely going to want Yrden eventually. Speaking of which, we have a lot of cards in our range row right now, so let's start spreading things out a bit. And let's do that by going with Lambert in the melee row here. Get out the other Wolf School Witchers. Okay, now they'll use their Wolf School Witchers. So yeah, they had a decent hand here. And they have one card remaining, which I think is either going to be Leo, in which case we're going to want to Geralt Quen into Yrden. And if it's Yrden, then we want to make sure that we have enough strength after they play it to still pass them here, in which case I think we'd probably wait for Vesemir Mentor. So tell you what, I think we actually Artefact Compression here, because although it's not a great play by itself, it allows us to optimize our 3 remaining cards much more effectively. We didn't want a Yrden yet. We didn't want to boost until they played their Yrden. And Arnaghad, we'd love to wait until we have Sukrus. And it is Leo. So I think that definitely means we're going to be using Yrden here. They also have their leader ability, which they should go in the melee row. They do. Just to split those boosts. So we're definitely going to Yrden. The question is, how much are we going to need after that? Well, only one way to find out. Let's go Quen. Into Yrden. And then we're definitely resetting this range row here. It's not enough for us to overtake them just yet, but then we have Vesemir Mentor, which I think is going to be our next card here, because that'll boost all of our Witchers, which is the card we wanted to wait until after they played their Yrden to use. Otherwise, much of that boosting would have gotten reset. So let's do this. And that is enough. So that means we'll pass them here in round 2, and we will maintain one card advantage. And I love that it's Arnaghad, because if we can get Sukrus, then we've got a really nice combo for round 3. Oh man. And it's Black Blood, which we can use to destroy whatever card they play. Sukrus, so yes, we have this combo. And then Bear Witcher Adept. Probably don't need that. Let's try swapping you out then. Crozai, I mean, there's a chance you lock Sukrus or Arnaghad, but I think that's unlikely. Red Haze, also a form of removal. And we have so many forms of removal here. So I think we actually lead off with Sukrus, because otherwise we're not going to have much time to get Arnaghad to do his thing. So let's go here. And I think they know what's coming next. Okay, they'll play Gerd, which is a high strength card. But now here comes Arnaghad. And they have Terracrew Plunderer, but I'm afraid that card's going to get destroyed. Now we can play Black Blood, although not sure it's going to matter here, because Arnaghad's already going to destroy whatever they play, in all likelihood. Okay, it's Morkvarg. Which is actually a clever play, but it's not enough. And because they only have one unit out here, actually means Red Haze doesn't even do anything. But it doesn't matter, because we'll still take the win. Okay, so we're going to Scoia'tael here. And we'll go first. And let's get rid of the Terracrew Axe-wielder. And one of our 2 Wolf School Witchers. Then, in the interest of not trying into our last Wolf School Witcher, I think we probably finish here. And let's go Bear Witcher Adept first. That'll give us an early unit with a bunch of armor. I vote for some somewhat consistent damage. Now, let's actually try to sneak in Idarran here. That way, once we play Bear Witcher Quartermaster likely on our next turn, we can get even more Witcher students out here. Yeah, now they're gonna focus their attention on Idarran. Okay, Eskel. Oh, they're playing them next to each other. That does mean Red Haze looks awfully tempting right now. And if we are to use this, then which person would we prefer to use it on? I think Ivo is actually a little bit stronger, given how many Witchers they're going to have in their deck. So let's go Red Haze to get rid of you. Okay, Dopathon a Sentry. My guess is that means we're going to see some Cat Witchers very soon. So now let's get the Quartermaster out here. And we have a clear target for our order ability. And technically speaking, we want to try to just use one of those order abilities each turn. That means holding off for now, because Idarran can only duplicate our Witcher student once per turn. Okay, here's the Cat Witcher. Then, similarly, if we want to go with Armor Up, also means we're going to want to save this order ability and maximize the effectiveness of Idarran. And I think we probably do go that route here. Okay, Selective Mutation. Give them a few Witcher students of their own, but is mostly set up for whatever Witcher they play next. Okay, so now we're definitely doing this. And the question is, do we prefer Vesemir Mentor or going with the 3 Wolf School Witchers? I think the answer is probably Vesemir. Let's go with that. And then we'll also just use our tactic here, because this is likely to be our last turn. Okay, they'll go with their 3 Wolf School Witchers. And now here come their leader ability charges. Okay, and this is an interesting one. They are still behind us, but even if they play Leo, which is likely the biggest point slam they could have at this stage, that is still not enough for them to pass us in one turn. And if they start using their leader ability charges, then possibly, but I think we take that risk here. It would take quite a lot for them to pass us. They go Vesemir Mentor. Also big, but I don't think that's enough here. Oh, hold on, though. With leader ability charges, yeah, it will be. Okay, so that means they go a card down, but in doing so, they do manage to win round 1. And because they're a card down, that means we may want to throw away card in case they dry pass, in which case Terror Crew Axe-wielder would be perfect for that. Not really sure how much lock we're going to see for them, so it's probably safe to remove Crow's Eye. And Selective Mutation is definitely nice. Let's swap out the Adept. And that does mean we now have 2 of the Wolf School Witchers. They do dry pass, so that's not an issue. We'll have time to fix that in round 3. Let's use the Axe-wielder as our throwaway. And in doing so, take round 2. Okay, we got Black Blood for removal. The Adept, probably a card we're going to want to swap out. And then Yrden, definitely big. Let's get rid of one of the Wolf School Witchers. And then let's try dumping you as well. And unfortunately, we did not get Arnaghad to go along with Sukrus. But we do have Selective Mutation, which we could use to get Arnaghad. So that'll probably be the plan there. In which case, I think we probably start with our location. Get a Quartermaster. We don't have any targets for him yet. Okay, another sentry, so not so surprisingly, expecting more movement here. Likely some Cat School Witchers and Gezros. So if we can, what we'd like to do is try to predict when they're going to play Gezros and immediately get him destroyed with something like Black Blood. And because he has Adrenaline 3, that means that, well, whenever they have 4 cards in their hand, they're likely to play him then. So let's try to time that way. In the meantime, why don't we use Selective Mutation to get Geralt's Quen, which we'll use to later get Arnaghad. And then we'll put back Crow's Eye. I don't think we're going to need it. And then ideally we would wait to hit Arnaghad when he's next to Sukrus with our Quartermaster's ability, because then we won't take any damage from it. Okay, so yeah, they're doing movement. Let's go Berengar here, now that we have some Witchers out there. Okay, here's another Matron. So yeah, lots of movement incoming. And now we want to go Sukrus. And that means we can start hitting Berengar here without worrying about taking damage. And I think they know what card's coming next. They do still technically have a leader ability charge, so they could disrupt it. They're playing an early Gezros. Okay, so that means Black Blood. It's going to be harder to make that work. But I think they did this early because they knew that Arnaghad was going to be able to destroy Gezros if they didn't play him now. Technically speaking, if we played Black Blood right now, it would destroy either the next unit they play, but if it's not a unit, it would destroy Gezros, which is tempting, but I'm pretty sure they're going to play unit next anyway, so that may not matter. Let's use Quen. Get Arnaghad. And like I said, I do expect them to move him with their last later ability charge. And there it is. So he does still, of course, have 12 power, so whatever unit they play here is very likely to get destroyed. But it means Arnaghad may not be long for this world. And it is a unit, yes. A unit we will destroy. And once again, with Gezras in the melee row means that if they don't play unit, Black Blood would destroy Gezras, but if they do play unit, then it's just going to destroy whatever they play next. So I think we probably go with our Wolf School Witchers here. And of course, we only have room for them in the melee row. Okay, here's a Cat Witcher, more movement. Down goes Arnaghad. And so what I'd like to do with Black Blood at this stage is possibly play it now, because we're expecting them to be waiting to play some of their biggest cards until the end. Of course, Gezras is already down there, but we're expecting maybe something like a Leo of their own, although they only have 2 Witchers out there, so maybe not. Either way, I think we want to save Leo and Yrden for last, so let's go with Black Blood here. And if they don't play any units, then I believe it's going to be this Cat Witcher that would get destroyed. It's Gaetan. Okay. Not a bad target for it. That's a strange row in which to do that. Oh, actually, yeah, they did that to specifically make sure that it was the Cat Witcher that got moved, not Gezras. So I think we can safely assume that one of these 2 cards they have remaining is Yrden. Normally I would have thought that the other card would be Leo, basically the exact hand we have right now, because this is more or less as good as it gets in this seasonal event. But because they have so few Witchers, if they have Leo, he's not really much of a factor. And either way, with them having last say means they will be able to reset whichever row we put Leo in. So I think let's go Leo here. And then we'll Yrden their range row at the end. Okay, it's Berengar. So now let's go our leader ability. Then let's go Yrden. Definitely in their range row. And we have a pretty sizable lead here. I think even if that last card that they have is Yrden, pretty sure we have a large enough lead to win this. It is Yrden. Well, we're about to find out then. And we certainly do. Even after all this movement. So there's a look at a Bear School Skellige deck for the new Trial of the Grasses seasonal event. If you liked the video, then make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and leave a comment down below to let me know which other cards, archetypes, and factions you'd like us to experiment with next. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.